My own case, when I started real estate, it takes me for 3 years before I got 30,000 naira for 3 years. Abuja is far better than any other place in Nigeria. So anywhere there's infrastructure, the properties appreciate faster. Whoever that is building should have it in mind that let me proceed, let me have a plan for future. I'm not just building for just money's sake or whatever. Expensive cannot be as expensive as your life. So that the value of the life is the most important thing to be. As a boss, any profession you find yourself, when you see yourself as the chairman or as the CEO, and then you now start a flamboyant life, you already have what's a collapsed building already. So that you know Nigerians have to give me bars, I give you ghosts. What is called real estate sale? It's nothing but integrity. Don't be carried away by the profit you are getting. No matter how distressed, we don't rush. And what we're after is just what our customers and our audience, our peoples will be getting more profit.
Yeah, hello everyone, and thanks for being with us again today. So this is yet another edition of the Real Estate Conclave, where we talk everything that has to do with real estate property. You see what I mean? Where we talk about land and landed property. So today with me, I have someone who is a developer. He's not just a mere developer. When I'm talking about his status as a developer, in fact, colloquially, he is the big man developer. You see what I mean? Most of the major properties in the cities of Abuja and across Abuja, those are the property he handles. His name is Alhaji Dr. Sanusi Teslim. You are welcome, sir. So can you say hi to our viewers at home, sir?
Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, everyone. Thank you so much. As I said earlier, my name is still remain the same, Alhaji Dr. Sanusi Teslim, the CEO of Jejeola Properties Nigeria Limited.
Yeah, thank you, sir. CEO Jejeola Property Limited. Okay, so I haven't done that introduction, so I want him to give us a background of, your background, where you started from, your school of study, your primary school, secondary, your education before you became a developer. So just take us through that journey.
Okay. Yeah. Basically, I'm from Kishi in Oyo State. Okay. I started my primary school in Oyo State, in Kishi, Irepo local government, which is called, I attended 2 primary school, and fortunately I graduated from Nibrosis Primary School, Tege Kishi, Oyo State. Okay. And then I proceeded to Lamgulu Memorial High School in Kishi also. Then after that, I proceeded to my tertiary institution in Abdul Guzo Polytechnic, Talata Mafara, Zamfara State. Okay. Then I studied mass communication there. Oh, so when I graduated from Abdul Guzo Polytechnic, I relocated back to Lagos. That is where the story of real estate started.
Okay, so you started all the way from Lagos before you came to Abuja?
Yes, I started from Lagos, Lagos to Ilorin.
Oh,
Ilorin. Ilorin to Abuja.
Okay, so yes. What year did you go to Abuja?
2019.
2019. Okay, so
I got to Abuja April 6, 2019.
2019. Okay, yeah. So that's like 7 years ago. So what was the reason? Why did you have to move from Lagos to Ilorin, Abuja? What were you, at least I think there should be a reason behind that.
Yes, when I started in Lagos that time, we started from the renting and then management of the properties. Property then it was then things were not moving the way we think of. And then luckily enough, when I got to Ilorin in Kwara State, yeah. Then I was able to have a branches in Ilorin. Okay. And then, the real estate is all about your target audience. Where you meet your target audience, that is all. Then I focus on all the market women and other things like that, other people like that, most especially the business people that have daily steady income.
Yeah.
So that.
Yeah.
And from there, when I discovered that, yes, alhamdulillah, things have gone too well in Ilorin. I have my estate, I have my houses in Ilorin then. I said, okay, let's still look forward and see what is going on in Abuja.
Okay, so you moved to Abuja is because you is a way of expansion, not as if probably Ilorin is no longer okay. I want to move to Abuja.
No.
Okay.
No,
Okay.
Ilorin is still there. I still have my office in Ilorin up to now.
Oh, okay.
What's it called? It's still in Gaudota, Ilorin.
Oh.
So it's two. It was two before, but when I left, so that I have to cancel the one in GRA opposite Kwara Hotel.
Okay.
Then I still left the one in Gaudota in Ilorin, which I have my managers, everybody, they were still doing well.
Okay, so regards to the property market, do you prefer, or let me say, regards to the property market, between Abuja and Ilorin, which do you think?
Abuja is far better than any other place in Nigeria.
So Abuja is the land of milk and honey.
Yes, because one thing about it is that Abuja is fast growing developed cities in Africa. And aside from what is it called now, Cairo, that we are having the same business challenges in real estate when it comes to real estate, so that we're all having the same bracket of market value.
Yeah, between Egypt
and Nigeria, which is Abuja.
Okay.
Because Egypt, they have their own new Kairos, and then Abuja. And fortunately for us, the government is favorable when it comes to the expansion of the roads and other things. Infrastructure is the major thing. So anywhere there's infrastructure, the properties appreciate faster. And what we're after is just what our customers and our peoples will be getting more profit.
Wow. So I will do a follow-up question.
Okay.
So you said you studied mass comm before you moved to Lagos.
Yes.
So at what point did the mass comm now change to being a developer, being doing property letting, property management? What informed that decision? What led to that? So why didn't you go to become a broadcaster or something?
It has never been my hobby to be a broadcaster from beginning.
Okay, so how did you come about the mass comm thing?
It's just that, okay, when you are looking for admissions and
so
other things,
any course
comes, then we go.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
But real estate has been my way of life. And then, anything real estate, what we call real estate is what comes from the land.
Yeah,
so that land itself is real estate. Production of everything like crops, other things is real estate. It's fall under real estate.
Yeah.
And as you heard, you still fall under real estate. You can't do without real estate.
Yeah, of course. And even at the end, we will still go back to the land itself.
Yes,
so,
that is all.
Yeah. So if I understand what you said, so even before the mass comm days, you've always known that you want to go into property.
And then I started from tilings, interlocking, those days.
Okay. Wow, that's a good one. Okay, so a follow-up question now. Being a developer, I know for quite some time now, we've had the issue of building collapse. So the question is going to be in two ways. So what do you think is the problem? Why do we have the challenge of building collapse? And what is the solution from your own perspective as a developer?
The challenges we have is a lot of people trying to, like now, if engineer just give you a bill, the work of architect is different to the work of a civil engineer.
Of course.
But people miss it. So that if the architect design the drawing, the structures for you, then they prefer that, okay, I can do it. No. There is a column here, and then the architect does not know the quantity of cement or whatever to mist us. And I'm not saying the architects are not good. Some architects are even better than some engineers when it comes to field, but give the work to who deserve it, who study it professionally. It's quite different too. And some is, I too know, I can do it myself, normally cost it.
Okay.
The money you used to buy the land, you bought the land, you're building, is not up to the money you will give to the engineers to do the thorough supervision for you.
Okay.
And the solution is the government regulation. The government regulation, like now, it's very simple in Abuja. Before we start casting approvals, everything is good. So that you get your approval, and when you get the approval, when you get to the first, what is it called, even the foundation level?
The DPC.
DPC, then they will have to come for supervisions. When you get to the first floor, they will come for supervision. When you get to any floor, any stage in work, they will come for supervision for checking.
Yeah, I agree with you on that, but we know that it is unfortunate that, let me say, this side of the world, even when they do that supervision, or probably when they come for that supervision, I think there's a way they still try to bypass that. I think that's part of the reason why we have this collapse of it. Because even the guys that are coming for supervision, if there are people you know, I think there's a way you can, you know, find your way around it, and they won't do what they are supposed to do at the end of it for the reason that, oh, I know him, I know him, I know him. What do you think about that?
Yeah, it's still another challenge, as we said. But the good thing about it is whoever that is building should have it in mind that, let me proceed, let me have a plan for future. I'm not just building for just money's sake or whatever.
Yeah.
Then, like now, everybody have integrity. There are some companies, when you see their name, you know what they will build. And there are some companies that when you see, they know that, yes, it will be very expensive. Yeah. Expensive cannot be as expensive as your life.
Yeah.
No matter how expensive.
Yeah. But the life is much more
life is more expensive than any other thing. So that the value of the life is the most important thing to be.
Wow. Yes. In fact, I'm going to take that personally. In fact, that's really deep.
Yes.
That's really deep. Okay, so I will do a follow-up question. So in the course of you doing development, you have to work with artisans. I know the positions of the other professionals in the built environment, the architect, the quantity surveyor, and all of that. But the artisans, where you have the mason, the painter, the tiler, the plumbing. So because for me, I think we have a shortage of artisans because most of the young guys, they are not really looking into that. So I know sometimes it is quite challenging, especially when you are going into development and you've given your client that, oh, in the next 12 months, I'm going to deliver this property. But so how do you manage those artisans, looking at the fact that we're already having shortage of those guys? So how do you manage them and make sure that the delivery period, you're able to meet up with it?
The thing is, as a boss, any profession you find yourself, when you see yourself as the chairman or as the CEO, and then you now start a flamboyant life, you already have what's a collapsed building already. To manage the artisan is not something you call them on phone. You check, you be with them time to time. And then most of them want a thorough, even up to the extent of a foul language sometimes. So that you know Nigerians, you have to give me bass, I give you ghosts.
You really need to be tough on them.
Yes, because that is the area of, what is it called? Challenges most in real estate.
But sometimes, of course, I know you have multiple jobs at the same time, and you can't be everywhere at the same time. So how do you now manage that? Probably you have like 5 different projects at the same time. So
you dedicate people that knows that this is their work, and then you will now be the overall and check it.
Okay.
You delegate, and then when you are good to them, most of the artisans, they want a kind of familiarity, and some doesn't like familiarity. When you give them that familiarity, they'll start giving you excuses so that, and in most cases I normally do in my real estate firm is, let's say now we agree for 7 months, 6 months. So I will give you as my clients 9 months or 10 months.
Okay, so when you already know that you will complete between 7 months. So you put like 3 months extra.
3 months extra or 2 months extra. So that in case of any distance. So that is it. And the teamwork is the most important thing. When you have a teamwork, fantastic.
Wow.
So like now, I have my people that work for me. And even when I was building my office in Abuja, I brought people from Abuja, from Ilorin.
Oh, from Ilorin, wow.
My message, they all came from Ilorin. My painter came from Ilorin.
Okay. Is it that because you're already used to them or you couldn't find guys in Abuja?
I used to them.
Okay.
I used to them.
Okay.
And most of them that I use in Abuja, we have started a relationship. You know, my moving to Abuja now is roughly like 7 years.
7 years now, yeah.
So that within that short period, what I do is, when I see you are the best, then I pick you. And then I base them on contracts. I don't give daily base or whatever. I want them to be productive. I want them to be progress. So that we agree, then I give you a very fantastic distance. Then we agree on this, then I pay you. When you finish my job, I'll pay you.
Wow, that's nice. That is nice. Okay, let me do a follow-up question as well.
All right.
We know the situation of the economy in regards to building material, you know, prices. You can't really ascertain that whatever price you are getting today, that's the same price you will get next week. That's the same price you will get next month.
Yes.
So for you being a developer, and you've given your word to the client that, oh, I'm going to deliver this property in 10 months, and we are going to use XYZ amount. Yeah. So in such case, between that 10 months and you're having like inflation like 3, 4, 5 times. So how do you deal with such situation? Because I know some clients, they have, not as if they don't understand the situation, but they won't want to
hear the story.
Yeah, they would do. They will say, oh, we've agreed.
Yes, actually, it's normally happens like that. That is what we call precautions in most real estate. That, okay, fine, now we agreed this at an amount. No matter what comes out of it, you have to come out from your profit margin to relate to keep the relationship. When you keep the relationship, the person that brought from you today will still be the one to come back again and get from you. That is where you cannot get your profit back. In most cases, what you do is, one, don't jeopardize your
integrity and the quality
of
the project.
So that no matter what comes out of it, your integrity is still the same. So that what we normally do is, no matter how, we accept that, okay, fine, it's going to be on our loss of air, but it's not going to be that lost. Because as the market, this thing now change, before that time, we already got most of our materials down. If you move to any site now, 70% of the material we are going to use for the build to build the unit, we already have it.
Available. Wow. Okay. So I think that's another way to handle it. Yes. Okay. So from your own view, being a developer and being in the property business in Abuja, would you say property is affordable? Let me use Abuja as a case study. Do you think? And affordability, I'm not talking about probably individual, because even if a property is $5 billion, there are people that they can afford it, even if it's $10 billion. But what I'm saying is, as in the level of affordability is high. Something that even civil servant, even if you are mere salary here now, you can still participate in the property market. So looking at Abuja and what you offer, do you think property in Abuja is affordable?
Is affordable to the extent of, in a way that, let's say now, the minimum wages.
Yeah.
The minimum wages now already show that the property is not affordable for the civil servants. That is where the government have to cover. Okay. And the opportunity that we have now is, and the good thing about it now is, the present government, by introducing the new Hope system, so that, you know, they have a renewed Hope housing now.
Housing estate, I think in
Karasana and some other areas. Then the FHA is there, and for us as developers, we always look at it that, okay, if the government say A, we will go to our own B, so in order to just make things affordable for everyone.
Wow.
And where we complete to the government is the land allocation.
Okay.
The more the land is expensive, the more the houses is going to be expensive. If the allocation is expensive, then the houses too will be expensive. Yeah. So that it's not all about the materials, it's not all about the what's it called? The messes,
apart from all those logistics,
yes,
you still need to consider the value of land as well.
Consider the value of the land
yeah,
as
and
well.
there is never a time that Abuja land value will go down. In fact, it will still be going because of the infrastructural development
infrastructures, and then yeah, it's because of infrastructures.
Yeah, I agree on that.
But the more the infrastructures is growing, that is the more
value.
things will be going up, because a lot of people will be moving.
Yeah, sure.
So that the percentage of population in Abuja in 2023 is quite different to what you have in Abuja now.
Yeah.
I can say now 45% of Lagosians have moved to Abuja.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. Okay. Okay.
So that, and the more they are moving to Abuja, the prices will be what?
Of course, because there will be more demand too. People will demand for property
yes.
more. Yeah. So you mentioned something about land allocation. So that brings me to this next question. We've had issues in the past that some property developers, they sold land to probably clients, and it's possible probably it's the client that is building, or maybe the developer, depending on the agreement, but it's the developer that sold the estate plot to them. And at the end of the day, they could not develop that property. What's the problem? They said, oh, the land was revoked. So some of them, we've had issues that the land was revoked, and the clients, they are not even refunding money to the client. And some of them, oh, the land has been revoked, but we give you another location. And sometimes most of them say, oh, the location is nothing to write home about compared to what they pay for. So in this, have you ever found yourself in this situation, or how do you think you will handle such?
I've never found myself in that situation.
Okay, but do you know the cause of such?
Yeah, the cause is, one question is, the land that revoked, how did you get it? We all know that, okay, if you get a allocation now, it has a stipulated time to pay for some certain, what's it called, bill.
Yeah, to regularize the title.
Either the, what's it called, ground rent.
Yeah.
So that if a land, there's some land in Abuja more than 20 years now that have not been paid for ground rent.
Not been paid for.
So that no, the government will not just look, it's presumed that nobody is using the land, and then you don't need it again.
Okay.
So that I've never found my distance there. And what I do is, as a developer, all my estate, I do normally pay the ground rent every year. Every year. January, I pay my ground rent.
Okay. Oh, wow. Well,
to avoid story.
Yeah, because your integrity is even at stake. So because if such happens, it's not really a good story to tell. So as we take it home, let me use this to round up.
And again, the allocation. Is it FCDA?
Or area council?
Or how do they get the land? That one too is another question.
Yeah, but I've witnessed an issue that the land was approved by FCDA. Probably what's it called? Is this department under the Minister of FCT. So I think when the minister was changed, I think they had another arrangement for that same land, so they had to revoke the land. So it's not because the person has not paid grant. That could be another reason anyway, but I think I've heard something like this too, that irrespective of you paying ground rent or this. So when there's sometimes when there's change of government, do you think that's part of the cause?
It may be part of the cause if the previous administration changed the land use. If the land is allocated as a garden land and you now change the use to residential, who gives you the power? There is a master plan already.
Yeah.
So that nobody can tamper with the master plan.
Yeah, but in that context, are you supposed to blame the client, the person that is buying from government, or the government that knows, oh, this, according to the master plan, this is a green area, and I'm changing it to residential use? Because changing it to residential use, that is why the person is buying. So when there's now change of government, the new person wants to revert back to green land. So is it the government you will blame, or the client?
The person needs to go to Aegis and do the legal search. That's what we call legal search. Once you do legal search and you get your report, anything comes out of it, then you sue the Aegis. Because the Aegis have give you have make you realize that this land is genuine.
Yeah.
So that you get your legal search and it's showing that an equivalent, none.
Yeah.
They give you none. And then they will say, okay, this residential land was allocated to so-so person in so-so date, in so-so year, and then the power of attorney, even if the power of attorney is registered in another person's name, the power of attorney is registered in so-so person's name as we speak. So that the person that is power of attorney registered in his name or her name is the bona fide owner.
Yeah.
Ownership of that property at that same time.
Yeah.
So that if anybody come out of it, and then the allocation I've shows to you that is residential or is commercial, then I say, okay, later the place is garden.
You should know that there's a
It's a bonus for you. Shoot the edges.
Well, that's really interesting.
So that don't go back door whenever
yeah.
you acquire land.
Yeah.
The money you spend to legalize, to go to confirm the genuinity of the land is not up to the 1/3 or 2/3 of what you are buying the property. Why are you running away? Why don't you go straight and get
and do the
legit
right thing? Yeah,
so that, and some say, okay, I have a brother, I have this thing, they can just get it. So that whoever that have office, I have a license of real estate or whatever, knows what she's doing. Definitely, you will not just buy any land.
Yeah, that's
there is a
correct.
body that regularizes it. That is why.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, sure. Yeah, that's very correct. So let me use this to wrap it up.
Okay.
So for your years of experience in rendering service of property to people, and you've really made clients to smile. So how would you, it's going to be in 3 ways. How would you advise the younger ones, Because I'm sure before you even got to this stage, there are 1 or 2 distractions that if you have given up then, I'm sure you won't be in this stage today. So how would you advise the younger ones that are coming, that they have the vision of being a developer? How would you advise them to keep at it? That's number 1. Okay. Then number 2, how is there any advice you can give to government, maybe in a way of having low-cost housing, or probably if there's a way we can look at price control on building materials, or regards to even the land laws, regularization of title, probably just to reduce the issue of, my land was revoked, or it's taking me time to get approval for stuff and all of that. That's on the government side. Maybe if there's any place I might not be able to mention, maybe you feel government can do better. Then the last one, how would you advise the general public? Like you said, when we're talking about building collapse, sometimes some of the clients too, probably because they don't want to pay so much, they are not giving the professionals the right job. So they just want to give someone. At the end of the day, you have building clubs. So how would you advise the general public to always make sure that they engage professionals when it comes to property? So it's 3 advice now to the younger ones, the younger developer, to the government, and to the general public.
The younger ones?
Yes.
I'm still young also. I'm still young also.
Yes.
Anything we do in life, first thing is, what is called real estate itself? It's nothing but integrity. It's nothing but integrity. That is real estate. It has so many other definitions, it has so many ways.
Yeah. But that's an aspect of it.
That is an aspect of it. So that if you have what you call integrity, contempted. When you have integrity, you have contempted. You have so many things.
Yeah.
Like now, my own case, when I started real estate, it takes me for 3 years before I got 30,000 naira for 3 years. 30,000 naira for 3 years. If there's another person, it will just quit. Say, this is not my way.
But back then, 30,000 used to be a big money.
Yeah, it's a big money. It's a big money. We're talking of almost like 20 years' time.
Yes, so that was big money back then.
But one thing is, I always see it that, okay, fine, I want to achieve this. If someone that gave you want to buy a property from you now, if you look at the profit aspect and you didn't look at the safety of the property,
Yeah.
the genuinity of the properties. Don't be carried away by the profit you are getting. Some people that want to set you up, they'll bring, like now, they normally bring a property. Some will even bring a property that, okay, this property is distressed. No matter how distressed, we don't rush. We do legit and find a way that, okay, fine, is it this property is okay?
Yeah, due diligence.
Due diligence is very, very important. That is for the upcoming
For
one.
the younger ones.
So that not only that all the glitter things are good, or did they call it?
Or it's not the glitters that are gold.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that is number one.
Yeah.
So for the
Then
government
to the
aspect, yeah, I cannot say much about that because the government have tried their best. Okay. Like now, even in Abuja, so most of all of us developers, so that there is access to the ministers.
Okay.
Not everybody, I'm not saying, okay, but there is a way that, okay, fine, things are going accordingly.
Okay.
If you want to build this place, then they will look at it that, okay, you have this hectares, okay, you want to get this 5 hectares or whatever. What is the purpose? What are they using it for? Are you making it on a profit aspect? Even if you are making it a profit aspect, the government will try to regularize it that, okay, fine, at least the minister will not even want to hear that. That, okay, fine, let's say that they allocated this place now at a lowest price and they now hear the prices you are selling outside to people. That is another aspect. I don't know how they are going to do their own bodies, but they too, they do a lot of investigation about us now that, okay, how much the developers are selling.
Okay.
So that from there, it's we developer will decide.
Yeah.
It's we that will decide. I always tell people, if this line now, they say, okay, 100 million naira, and in the next few years, few months, you hear 500 million, it's developers.
So I think people can attest to that. Sorry, I want them to listen to that, take note of that. So if you hear any price increase, Mr. Sanusi has attested to the fact that it is the developers that are responsible for that. So
not only all of us.
But that's what you just said.
don't put it that way. But one thing about it is the government, they are trying their best, and regularization of things now, we all know that it's beyond the federal government, that is Nigeria at all. It's affecting the whole world. Most especially the war, everything. Yeah. Then, and the challenges we have is most of things we don't make production here in Nigeria.
Yeah, most of the things you have to.
Most of things coming from abroad. That is, we have so many young guys that they can produce so many things. So that the government need to invest in what? Invest in productions. Yeah. Not that, okay, we should be import how do they call it?
Yes, import material, import almost everything we use.
No.
So they should encourage manufacturing locally.
Local manufacturing is the best.
Yeah.
Local manufacturing is the best. All these antique chairs, everything now, we are making it in Nigeria and people are doing well.
Wow.
So that, and the last one is
to the general public.
To the general public, whoever that want to buy. Not that my brother said, my auntie said, do a due diligence.
Yeah.
Do a due diligence. If the estate has a global CFO, it's your right to confirm.
Yeah.
Not that, okay, the estate is your allocation to you. No. The estate will give you allocation, but you still have right before you drop your money, a pen. It's your words. It's what is sweat for. You have the right to know.
Yeah, to find out.
So that is the major things. And then the people that build, let all of us have it in mind that no matter what you are building, it's not expensive as your life.
Yeah. That's really, really important as we take it home. I'm going to take something you said earlier, really important. You said that if you want to buy property or you want to invest in property, you don't need to say, oh, this is my uncle, this is my auntie. if you are trying to do familiarity when it comes to property business, you might not get what you're supposed to get. So yes, I know we have that challenge a lot, but the thing is, when they want to go for cars, when they want to, automobiles and all of that, well, if it's not a new car, probably the general tokumbos, they will always get their mechanic. Can you help me check this? Can you make sure everything is fine? They are trusting the decision of the mechanic because he is a professional in that field. So, and they trust the decision that the person says. So if the person says, oh, the car is nice, they will go for it. If they say, the car is not nice. So they won't say, oh, my brother should go and check it. So, but I don't know why people, when it comes to property, sometimes they tend to like, oh, whatever my brother or auntie says. So that's what Alhaji Dr. Sanusi has just told us. So I'm just trying to throw more light to that. So thanks for the audience today. We really appreciate. And once again, that is Alhaji Dr. Sanusi Teslim. He's the MD CEO of JJ Ola Properties in Abuja, Nigeria. Briefly, do you mind telling us what you have, probably for people to know, or what do you think they can patronize you for?
Yes, there is what we call land banking in our office. We do it. So that the land banking, how it works is you have money now, and then any amount you have, you can bring it to our office. That is what we do. And then, like now, if you give us, let's say for example, you give us 100 million naira. And on 100 million naira, here we trade it, we use it for land, we get land, and then we buy and sell. We have the prospect areas that we know that, okay, we can go into. So that instead of carrying you along all the bush, I will enter the bush, you may not do the stress.
Yeah, of course.
So that your 100 million naira or whatever amount, then we invest it in real estate, then we give you 20% of it.
20%, okay, annually.
Annually, that is the profit, 20% annually. And then if you want to take it monthly, we give you 24%. That means that 24% will now be divided by 12. Let's say on 100 million now, we give you 24 million naira in a year. And that 24 million naira will now be giving 2 million naira every month.
Okay, so
and then when you want to get your money back, you give out a notice of 60 days.
60 days, that's 2 months.
2 months. So we have another one product we call 70-30 formula.
Okay.
The 70-30 formula, the way it works is you have your money, we will tell you where and where to buy. When you buy, then we're good to go. We will be the one to do the documentation, so that all the documentation, everything to confirm the genuinity of the properties, then it will be our responsibility. Okay. That is our contribution to it. Then we'll do the document for you. After that, you go with your document. So that when it's time to sell, we call you back that it is time for you to sell. When you sell, any profit you make on top of your capital investment, you go with 70%, we go with 30%. So that the more you get the profit, the more JJ Ola Properties Nigeria to get in profit.
Okay, so but at that point, if I say, oh, I don't want to sell, I want to build on it.
If you want to build on it, then you do the value and give us our 30%, you go.
The value of the property I'm putting on it.
The value of the property on it. And then the profit that you get, then you give us our 30%, you go.
Okay. So that's 70-30.
That is 70-30. So that formula is favorable for people with government and people in diaspora that they doesn't have time of buying it by themselves. And most importantly, when people want to buy, they inflate the price for them.
Yeah, that's another
because
thing,
they don't know that, okay, fine. But at the time when they are not trying to sell, ask the person that is where you will know that there is a foul play. When you ask your investors or the real estate guru to buy for you, and the time to sell is telling you another story, that is where you will know. So that in this case, we don't need your money. We will tell you, buy this area. We do the documentation for you. We do everything for you. When you buy, when you are selling, the more you make profit, we will make.
Wow, that's a nice concept, 70-30. Wow, that's nice.
That is what we do.
That's nice.
Then, if you give us the capital, we trade it for you. Then your capital is still intact.
Yeah.
So that we give you documentation that can give you rest of mind. That worth your property.
Okay.
But you cannot sell it. There is a way we cannot sell it, because if it is RFO, then we hold CFO, you hold RFO. We hold RFO, you hold CFO. We put a coverage in ages.
Okay.
So that we cannot sell, you cannot sell.
Okay. Yeah, so just like probably a bank account where you have a caveat on the account that please no debit, so
yes,
I can withdraw.
That is it.
Yeah. That's a nice concept. I've not even heard of that before. Yeah. So okay, that's a good one. So that will be all for today. A very big thank you to Alhaji Dr. Teslim Sanusi, MD CEO of JJ Ola Properties. I want to say a very big thank you for being on our program today. My name is Adejumo Samuel. I am an estate surveyor and valuer. And that's everything for today, and we will be signing out.